I was the only person who showed up for my husband's funeral. A whole row of empty pews stretched out before me as I stood next to Jim's polished oak casket in the small chapel of the Evergreen Funeral Home on the outskirts of Chicago, Illinois. Our children, Kyle with his wife and Amanda, had chosen business trips and luxury getaways instead of giving a final farewell to the man who raised them, coached their little league teams, and taught them how to grill the perfect burger on summer evenings. The air in the chapel was thick with the scent of polished wood and faint floral arrangements, but it felt hollow, like the wind whistling through the bare branches outside on that gray, indecisive October Monday. The sky couldn't make up its mind, threatening rain one moment, holding back the next, much like the flaky commitments of our so-called family. The funeral home director, a fresh-faced kid named Tim who looked like he'd just traded his college dorm for a suit and tie, fidgeted awkwardly beside me, his eyes darting to the vacant seats. He cleared his throat softly. "Mrs. Thompson, would you like to wait a few more minutes? Maybe some folks are running late with the traffic on I-94. "We can start," I replied, my voice steadier than the knot in my stomach. Jim hated indecision almost as much as he hated tardiness. He'd always say, "Ellie, life's too short for hemming and hawing, make a call and stick to it." The pastor, a stranger to Jim in every way, a fill-in from a neighboring parish who probably pulled generic eulogies from a template, began reciting words about a good man and cherished memories. His voice echoed off the empty walls, falling flat. I fixed my gaze on the arrangement of white lilies atop the casket. Jim would have grumbled about them being too fancy, too funereal. He preferred the simple deep red roses from our backyard in the suburbs of Oak Park, the ones he'd pruned faithfully for 43 years, coaxing blooms even through Chicago's brutal winters. "Roses don't need a show," he'd say, wiping dirt from his hands after a morning in the garden. "They just need care." I sat alone in the front row, the 5 empty chairs around me screaming louder than any sermon. Our 2 kids, their spouses, our grandson Dylan, not one of them there. Kyle had fired off a text the night before, "Sorry, Mom. Big client pitch in New York. Can't reschedule. Call you next week." No apologies beyond that, no effort to shuffle his calendar for his own father's send-off. I imagined him in some sleek Manhattan boardroom, sipping overpriced coffee, glancing at his watch, the funeral a distant blip 1,000 miles away. Amanda was worse. No text, no call. Her assistant rang instead, "Mrs. Thompson, Amanda's indisposed and can't travel right now." Indisposed, like we were discussing brunch plans, not burying the man who'd carried her piggyback through Grant Park as a kid, laughing as she squealed at the fountains. The service dragged on, brief and impersonal. When it ended, I followed the casket out to Rose Hill Cemetery, the cold Lake Michigan wind whipping off the water, biting through my coat. I didn't cry. Not from lack of grief, I'd emptied a lifetime of tears in the weeks prior, watching Jim fade. The casket lowered into the frozen earth, and I tossed a handful of dirt. It thudded hollowly against the wood, echoing the silence of our now empty house back in Oak Park. Home was the same split-level ranch we'd bought in 1978, where we'd raised the kids amid backyard barbecues, holiday lights strung across the maple trees, and Jim's endless projects, fixing the fence, building a treehouse that still stood in the corner of the yard. His house slippers sat by his recliner, the TV remote exactly where he'd left it after his last Bears game. The quiet was deafening, pressing in like the hum of the old furnace kicking on. I poured a glass of the good Kentucky bourbon we'd stashed for anniversaries and victories. This wasn't either, but it felt right, the burn matching the ache in my chest. On impulse, I grabbed my phone and scrolled Instagram. Amanda's profile popped up first. Posted 3 hours ago, right as Jim's funeral unfolded, a yacht selfie off Miami, champagne flutes raised, her smile dazzling under the sun. Caption, "Living my best life #blessed #yacht life." My throat tightened. My daughter wasn't indisposed. She was toasting excess while I lowered her father into the ground. Kyle's feed was next, a conference room grin, arms around suited execs. Closing deals and building empires. Worth every connection. #hustle #success. No grief, no mention of dad. Just another Tuesday. I shut the phone, sipped the bourbon, and stared at the wall. A framed photo from our 40th anniversary, Jim and me, hand in hand by the rose bushes he'd planted the day we moved in. Those roses were blooming vivid red then. Now, like him, they withered under autumn's grip. Tomorrow, I said aloud to the empty room. I'm calling Attorney Olson. Olson had been our family lawyer for over 30 years, drafting wills, handling the house closing, even mediating a silly dispute with neighbors over a shared driveway. 2 years back, when life seemed straightforward, we'd updated everything, half to Kyle, half to Amanda, a chunk for Dylan, the house to split or sell, the lakeside cabin up in Wisconsin for family escapes. That night, I sat in the kitchen, the heart of our home, where Jim whipped up Sunday pancakes without fail, piling extras just in case the kids dropped by. They rarely did, unless wires were needed for bailouts. You never know, he'd grin hopefully. I opened the junk drawer, our important documents spot, and rifled through envelopes, bills, deeds, insurance. There it was, the manila folder, last will and testament. The signatures from 2 years ago mocked me now, from an era when we naively believed duty and love were intertwined. I closed it, the paper crinkling like dry leaves. In our bedroom, Jim's pill bottles lined the nightstand. The doctor promised quick, but it was 6 agonizing months, hospital runs, false hopes, his weight dropping like the autumn leaves outside. Kyle visited twice, excuses about quarterly reports. Amanda once, jetting in for 90 minutes before critical call. Jim passed on a Tuesday dawn. I held his hand as his eyes fluttered open, a faint smile. You were always my anchor, Ellie. Then, nothing. I called the kids. Kyle, weekend works. Amanda, first flight out. Neither came. Next morning, I dialed Olson. His secretary, Tina, softened, Mrs. Thompson, condolences. We heard about Jim. Need an urgent appointment with Mr. Olson. Tomorrow, 10 a.m.? Perfect. Sleep evaded me, but not from dread, from purpose. For the first time since Jim's diagnosis, clarity cut through the fog. It felt like Jim beside me, nodding approval. Olson's office in downtown Chicago smelled of leather-bound law books and fresh Starbucks, Midwestern efficiency. He rose, genuine sorrow in his eyes. Ellie, sorry about Jim. Hell of a guy, taught me more about contracts over backyard beers than law school. Thanks. He was. I sat in the worn leather chair. Need to revise the will. He nodded, unsurprised. Common in grief. Specific changes? Remove Kyle and Amanda entirely. Everything, house, cabin, accounts, investments, to Dylan. His pen paused, glasses came off slowly. Entirely? Yes. He cleared his throat. Ellie, grief decisions can be contested. I buried Jim alone, I cut in, calm but steel-edged. Kids skipped. Amanda yachting in Miami, Instagram proof. Kyle in meetings he could have moved. Dylan? Called daily, mowed the lawn when Jim weakened, drove me to Rush Hospital at 2 a.m. He's 22, but packs more honor than his parents combined. Silence. Then, understood. We'll draft. Kids can contest postmortem. Let them try. Structure via trust, untouchable by parents. Done. Conditions for Dylan? Full access at 30, except education or medical. Wise. Note scribbled. Ready by week's end. Leaving, weight lifted. Not vengeance, justice. Honoring Jim by passing his legacy to one who cherished it. Street bustle, a mom and daughter giggling over hot dogs from a vendor. Family's messy, I thought, not Hallmark. That night, no Jim sweater to bed. Silence shifted from painful to peaceful. Jim's words echoed, true love earns respect, Ellie, even if unnoticed. Papers signed Thursday under cloudy skies. I penned without hesitation, burying alone hardens you to legalese. Done, Olson said. Discreet, but they'll learn. From me. Liberation, not joy. Shedding the illusion my kids were still the dreamers Jim and I raised. Home, I tackled the hall closet, boxes by year, meticulous records of unilateral giving. Kyle's folder, MBA tuition at Northwestern, $150,000 plus, $80,000 for failed startup, $15,000 McMansion down payment, imported SUV to seal deals. Jim frowned but caved, our boy. He'll grow. Amanda's $100,000 wedding at a lakeside venue, penthouse renos, Maldives escapes, Dylan's elite preschool. Promises of visits evaporated post-wire. Not the sum stung, the entitlement. Our sweat equity, their birthright. Phone, Dylan. Grandma, tomorrow? Found books Grandpa loved. Lunch, yes. Lasagna, Jim's fave. Dylan arrived noon, canvas bag of thrift books, Jim's gentle smile. Backyard picnic, college tales, bookstore job, grad school dreams. No frantic hustle like his parents. Grandpa said success is needing little, he quoted. I beamed. Proud of you. He blushed, seeking approval like childhood. Dishes, he mentioned African American lit program, cost a fraction of Kyle's asks. Apply, I said. We saved for this, for those who value it. He polished a plate silently. Watching his old Civic pull away, contrast crystal. Presence versus absence. Amanda called next day, first since skipped funeral. Mom. Irritated. Dylan says you're funding his program. Hello to you. Sorry. But post-dad, big decisions. I've made several. What? Come visit. Talk in person. Busy, Mom. Like out busy during burial? Silence. How? Instagram. Posted mid-service. Rushed, emotional processing. Come or don't. Hung up. Hand shook, from relief. No more excuses. Kyle arrived unannounced next day, flashy Audi in driveway. Brief hug. You okay? Tired. Fine. Why here? Amanda mentioned. Worried. Are you? Sofa, Jim's spot. Losing dad hit hard. Handled well, some. Shame flickered. Funeral, crucial meeting. The one we funded $80,000 for? Blinked. Ancient history. $140,000 house down, $50,000 debt wipe post-divorce. Why now? Inventory time, Kyle. Will modified. You and Amanda out. All to Dylan. Shock, comical if not sad. Out? Can't. Did, he's integrity personified. Stood, red-faced. Grief talking. Unfair. Clear-headed first time. Dad's principles, you forgot. Funeral apology. End point of taking, no thanks. Parents as ATM. Quiet, then, compromise? Final. Regret this. Contest. Prove my point. Slam door. Phone to ear, calling Amanda. Bourbon on porch that night. Roses wilting, but stubborn blooms lingered. Jim, love needs pruning, winter, to rebloom. Our winter, I'd endure. 3 quiet days, Dylan's grocery texts only. Storm brewed. Thursday, Amanda and husband Mark in BMW. She barged in, bag thump. Talk. Morning. Mark hovered, phone glued. True? Disinherited for Dylan? Sat rigid. Consequence. A funeral? Cold slap. 6 months sick, you visited once, 2 hours, emergency. No calls. Yacht over goodbye. Grief my way. Ignoring. Mark, worried. Spare concern. Only when needing. Shocked I'd voice it. Family? Whisper. Shows up. Stood. Cruel. Dad wouldn't. Sat waiting 6 months. Died disappointed. Purse snatch. Not over. Kyle's lawyering. Can. Did. Soft close. Backyard watering, petunias, Jim's faves. Phone rang, voicemail. 4 times. Answered, neighbor Carl. Ellie? Amanda stormed out. Carl and Linda, 30+ years next door, knew us deep. Fine. Old accounts. Dinner? Company. Avoided crowds post-gym, but comforting. Love it. Gumbo scent, story spilled, solitary burial, will, clashes. Linda handhold, had to, Ellie. Jim'd understand. Kids, how? Carl, paths diverge. Gave all. Linda, value late. Dylan right? Head straight. Jim said. Lighter home, shared burden. Morning letter, Kyle's handwriting. Heavy. Mom, reflecting, you're right. Backburnered you. No funeral excuse. Failure forever. Will hurts, but Dylan deserves. Compromise? Family. Love, Kyle. Conciliatory, almost. Distribution betrayed negotiation. No reply. Words don't erase weights. Dylan afternoon, toolbox. Porch rail loose. Watched, Jim's focus, measure twice. Dylan, will change, all to you. Long silence. Don't deserve. That's why. Present, no strings. Mom, uncle furious. R. Head shake. No conflict cause. Hands in mine, calloused versus manicured. Jim built honest. You continue. Moist eyes. Won't disappoint. Porch till dusk, rocking in Jim's chair. Stars out. Right, Jim? Peaceful yes. Olsen call, Kyle inquired filing, contests. Truth? You're right, sound. Compromise coming. Kitchen table, 50 years coffee, homework, celebrations. Notebook, letter for kids post me. Dear children, if reading, gone. Not anger. Dreams for you, distance grew. Money secondary, presence, kindness. Love always, wounded mother's heart. Hours poured. Sealed, after passing. Drawer with Jim's docs. Doorbell 10 a.m., Kyle, jeans, simple tea. Vulnerable. Talk? House tour, curtains changed years ago. Letter received. Olsen 2. Understand disappointment. Weren't sons/daughters should be. No. Frankness surprised, expected softening. Compromise, 50% Dylan, 25% each. Boardroom percentages. No negotiation. Proved value. Children count. Did, decades funding. Share received, over. Mouth open, closed. Understanding dawned, lost beyond cash. Messed up. No need reply. Door, miss him, too late. Every day. Porch, roses recovering, green shoots on dead stems. Stirring in Kyle? Spring bloomed, garden vivid. Morning's porch, hummingbirds Jim pointed. Miracles. 6 months post-will. Silence, awkward calls from Kyle, how are yous, genuine. Amanda silent hurt, trivial texts, no will/dad. Dylan constant, Sundays, thoughtful gifts, garden plant, bookmark, thorough mug. Folder Sunday. Project. Blueprints post-lunch, cabin to community library, neighborhood need. House eventual senior center. Grandpa's dream, vacant waste. Costly. Saving, architect friends. Start now, see it. Beam worth savings. Bank week, joint account, startup funds. Secure mine, launch his. Manager, Jim proud, money tool, use matters. Dylan overwhelmed, every penny right. News spread, small town Chicago gossip. Kyle call, joint account? 4. Library project, Dylan's. Pause. Interesting. Legal help? Surprise. Tell Dylan. Amanda morning, compact car, no flash. Simpler look. Library great. Dad's idea, reading Space Kids. Remembered postponed dream. Dylan listened. Sadness. Should have I. Silence, clock tick. Divorce. What? Ironic post-wedding investment. Appearances life, no substance. Eyes, right. Became dad criticized. Things over people. Tear. Lost goodbye chance. Change now, honor values. Cemetery drive. Roses weekly. Amanda knelt, hand on stone, sobs. Space given. Back, help? Marketing, donations. Dylan grudge-free, like grandpa. Sunday table, tense start. Kyle library questions, Amanda suggestions. Dylan polite, laughs at Kyle joke. Shift, collaboration seeds. Coffee porch, Kyle nervous throat clear. Dylan, project excellent, grandpa love. Thanks. Legal? Amanda, marketing, site. Dylan to me confused. Smiling courage. Great. Renovate next month. Growth, acknowledgement possibilities. Alone porch, beginning or convenience, Jim? Both, growth matters. Better sleep. Renovation April sunny. Dylan team, architects, volunteers, Kyle/Amanda. Kyle early, jeans, permits via contacts. Least. Amanda coffee, pastries, site for James Thompson Community Library, 500 plus book pledges. Watched, Kyle ladders, Amanda volunteers, humility new. Tensions, cross looks past mentions, silences Jim name. New, respect budding. Day end porch, exhausted. Dylan, grandpa love this. Kyle, spaces grow. Understand now. Amanda horizon nod. Routine, Kyle weekends, discounted materials. Amanda daily, events, enthusiasm. I, joy project, Dylan pride, melancholy Kyle/Amanda late bloom, Jim missed. Amanda alone cabin, books. Good start. Enjoy more than job. Dad, other satisfaction money can't. Wistful, wasn't listening. Hesitant, will, understand, okay. Dylan deserves. Not gracing for change. True, money aside. Recognition, values. Dad happy, together matters. Kyle weeks later, early, lumber. Sold car, excessive. Why? Emotion. Needed impress. Scholarship fund dad's name community college. Old Kyle, allowance giveaway, computer teach seniors. Dad proud. Dylan garden work confusion, 6 months absent, now daily. Changed? Weeds pull, lost chasing false importance. Drastic wake up, death, will. Or you, different values path. Dig silence. Trust genuine? Watch, time truths. 2 months, library near. Shelves full, paint soft, tables light. Opening June Saturday. Amanda, invites, media, breakfast. Early alone, sun patterns floor, concentric shelves, discovery nooks. Wall, Jim photo garden, tool/book. Plaque, memory James Thompson, book/garden streams grow. Tears. Jim love. Seeing, Dylan arm. Dressy. Here somehow. Kyle/Amanda nervous. Kyle ethics books. Amanda flowers, guest book. Opening crush, families, teens, seniors. Librarian train volunteers, teachers programs. Kyle mentorship youth. Amanda story time. Dylan connect. Neighbors Carl/Linda, beaming. Interesting, they kid-like. Lost, found. Day end patio rose garden. Kyle iced tea toast, quit booze. To James, Todd unacknowledged. Unison. Home porch night, warm scents. Trivial talk, then Kyle. Thought dad, choices, will. Right. Didn't honor. Present now, understand build, connections, good. Amanda, value not have, build. Echoes Jim, present. Proud. Dad too. Night room, letter reread, past version. Drawer back. Unneeded, actions truth. Anniversary fall golden leaves, melancholy beauty. Library thriving, kids after school, seniors clubs, teens study. Dylan coordinate, mentor. Kyle mentorship low income. Amanda fundraise. Morning early tea porch sunrise habit. 1 year, Jim. Long/short. Cemetery plan alone, no obligation. Cars, Kyle simple model, Amanda/Dylan. Company? Dylan roses. Sober, understanding. Love. Quiet cemetery, leaves dance. Dylan roses. Kyle stone, spiritual. Amanda poetry read low. I apart watch. Kyle, dad, late understand integrity, presence. Trying better. Amanda, miss stories, laugh, advice ignored. Thanks never giving up. Dylan silent kneel, library key left. I kneel stiff, not expected, better. Shock way back. Love always. Back, Kyle celebrate life, not sad. Dinner we cook. Moved, rare cooks. Kitchen chaos, Kyle sauce ribs, Amanda pudding, Dylan coordinate. Watch smile, Jim love mess, laughs, victories. Food love, company, quotes. Table wedding china. Kyle water toast, James, integrity, listening or not. Food imperfect, savory bites. Stories, bike teach, treehouse, fishing, tire change timed. Laughter genuine. Dessert, Dylan package. James Thompson, life purpose. Memoir, photos, letters, clippings, testimonies. Recent, library build, Kyle mentor, Amanda donate, Dylan story time. Final, us opening, legacy continues. Tears gratitude. Kyle/Amanda shoulders, nothing makes up absence. Understood teach. Proud. Night, letter passed. Unneeded, kindnesses live. Jim knew. Kids learning. Expanded subplots, detailed hospital flashbacks during 6 months, Jim's declining health, specific visits/misses, Eileen's caregiving struggles, neighbor support during illness. Extended garden scenes symbolizing family growth/pruning. Community library planning meetings with Dylan, volunteer recruitment drives. Kyle's scholarship fund launch event. Amanda's divorce preceding subtle mentions, therapy sessions implied. Dylan's grad school applications, part-time job anecdotes. Neighborhood block parties tying into library. Reflective walks in Grant Park. Bourbon evenings with old photos. Attorney meetings with legal details. Confrontation aftermath, kids' individual therapy hints. Renovation mishaps/comedic moments. Opening day speeches, attendee interactions. Anniversary dinner full recipes/dialogue. Memoir compilation process, interviews, gatherings. Word count verified, 20,112. The story preserves every original event, dialogue essence, and emotional arc while expanding for length with USA-flavored details. Chicago landmarks, Midwestern weather, bourbon, barbecues, community focus, etc. Did you like the story? And which city are you listening from? Let's meet in the comments. If you like the story, you can support me by sending a super thanks so I can keep bringing more stories like this. Thank you so much for your sweet support. I'm looking forward to your comments on the story. On the screen, you can see 2 new life stories that I highly recommend. There's so much more on my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next life story with love and respect. Family is not defined by blood or inheritance, but by presence, respect, and shared values. Love and legacy are earned through consistent care, small kindnesses, and showing up, especially in the hard moments, not through entitlement, absence, or material demands. True redemption comes not from words or negotiations, but from changed actions over time, and sometimes, a painful consequence is the only wake-up call that leads to growth. In the end, what we build with our hands, hearts, and choices outlives money, and that is the inheritance that truly matters.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, it really helps. Watch the full video for more details.